Yeah, this is Andrew on Relax Radio. Welcome to the Lunch Month Show. We're gonna be together for the next hour, and we'll continue to have a good time like always, and get access to us on um, the app, our social media, and you know you're able to download the app from iOS or Android and hear from us live.
Online, on the iOS and Android, on your mobile phones, Bengali's biggest conversation around the globe. This is Relax Radio. आओ सब मिले काजটা ছেড়ে রিল্যাক্স রেডিও শুনি आओ সব মিলে কাজটা ছেড়ে রিল্যাক্স রেডিও শুনি রিল্যাক্স রেডিওতে প্রতিদিন শোনা যায় বাংলার প্রতিধ্বনি রিল্যাক্স রেডিও শুনি রিল্যাক্স রেডিও শুনি
Relax Radio.
Relax Radio.
Yeah, but it's another episode of the Lunch Match Show. It's the second day of the week while we're on, and we like to say thank you to those that are consistently following us and those that are new to us, and we'll like you show our appreciation and say that you guys are engaging, and it's actually a good thing that appreciation is that we are growing, and the numbers are growing, and we appreciating you guys, and get more of us because we are here for you, and we're here for you, um, for you to help us help you find a sense of community with us, because we are a community radio, and we are happy to support everybody that's out there that is uh, needing information or needing uh, however we can help you. So you connecting with us may give you an idea of what we can do for you. So we really appreciate you for connecting with us. It means that we're doing something right. And yeah, it's a Tuesday. It's a fun day, Tuesday, and the weather is not quite nice today. I don't know why. It's uh, not quite nice today because it's summertime and you're hoping to uh, have a bit of some sun. You can't have it throughout the time, but at least you know um, a good amount of time, and then you know it is what it is. But here we are now. We're all dressed up, all trying to be cool and that. But such is life, and we continue to appreciate what's there. And it's Andrew on Relax Radio. We are here. Appreciate what's there. And it's Andrew on Relax Radio. We are here. Relax Radio, and we're here Monday to Friday. Relax Radio, uh, the Lunch Month Show, where you sort of are here to communicate. Fill up the comment section, or through all our social media sites, and everything that's going on, and we sort of try to reach out about everything that's going on so that we can able to engage. I mean, we these so bring up sort of conversations that you have on your lunch breaks, and um, if you're able to talk about those, you can talk about those through us or with us, and we're able to have a beautiful conversation, and we could learn something from you. You could learn something from us. But in the meantime, I got I got to know of some interesting information about a mom and daughter that are making a combined 100,000 have made since 2020 during lockdown, have made a combined 100,000 um, in terms of money off OnlyFans. OnlyFans. Imagine that. You know, she says, I'm gonna read it out to you, and read it out to you because I found this really interesting, and I don't want to miss any bit of it. You know, she says, my mom joins daughter on OnlyFans, and now they've made 100,000 combined. So meet the mom and daughter who own OnlyFans have made nearly 100,000 combined. Made an unconventional resolution at New Year to join her teenage daughter on OnlyFans. You know, it's I find it interesting, but it's just the idea of OnlyFans give a vibe where it's like uh it's a porn site, but it looks like it's not quite what is made it out to be. So it's like she says she had seen her daughter's success, and after going through a breakup decided to make an account now. uh Evie says she and Tian, 19, are the hottest mom and daughter on the side. Woo. You might want to go check them out because some descriptions give a whole idea. I mean, for some of us who are married, we can't find ourselves in these sides because why are you doing that? And it's something that you could just pass by, maybe somebody doing some um pass by through somebody's friends and so forth and so forth, but you can't find yourself subscribing to these. That's just, I find it really disrespectful to your partner. I know a couple of men that out there that are, are watching porn, but it's what's the point? You know, um, you know, what's the point of watching porn when you are married or you got a girlfriend? This whole idea that I want to learn new skills. Nah. Nah, 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 nah. Let's not lie to each other. you know. And people will say, "Oh no, I just watch porn and don't jack off." Come on, you know. Come on. It's not a full package unless you actually, release some steam. So that's the purpose of the whole scene. So if you find yourself doing that and you've got a wife at home, like, how do you explain that? You know, it's as crazy it might seem. It can be addictive and it can mess your brain up. You know, I know people who've had bad experience with that whole situation, and to a point where um, a lot of things go left. It's a problem. You know, because once you are addicted, you are so concerned about just releasing the energy, and everything else that comes after is like, okay, fine. You know, it makes you heartless. So at least if you don't do it, you are able to. Oh, babes, can I please? Oh, babes, I didn't mean to. But if you if you become an addict, it gets to a point where um it's like, can we? Oh, we're not. You're like, okay. So that's why you need to show your woman some love, and show her that she's still the one. I believe women need reassurance to say that I still love you, I still find you sexy, and I still see you in that sort of way. But with distraction like porn and OnlyFans, you know, you could be self-destructive. But these people have an interesting situation going on because the pair says they've made nearly 100,000 combined and are very open about their sexual endeavors. Both say they had never felt unsafe on the side and do not care if it's controversial, we're laughing off any backlash. Um, um, yeah, but it's again living the rest of your life knowing that some of your packages are out there on the internet. It's crazy. I mean, people do send nudes and that, but you send to the people that you trust, and you probably read your call sometime. And people you will just put the jewelry and without the face, and you just put but then I don't know, maybe the site allows you to just put what, you know what I mean. But the good part is that you get money for it. That's the thing. But hey, you know I started checking out these sites at the age of say 16. So imagine if your 16-year-old child goes through those sites and sees mama, oh mama. you know, I wouldn't want that for myself, or you want that for your child. But some people are comfortable with such scenarios, and they're happy to do things in this way. And she continues to say, um, content consists of her lingerie and bikinis, while her mom admits to posting photos of more explicit nature. Ooh, explicit nature. Despite her current success, Eve was initially hesitant about the idea after eternity and set up on OnlyFans in Count 2020. Right. I suppose maybe in 2020 people were bored. Yeah, I think it quite explains this because during that time people were bored, and they was stuck in a house, and COVID and the whole situation, the pandemic. So her setting up the whole situation, uh, you know, it became a whole situation because she was at home bored, and then so I suppose the mom realized that she's not bringing home the bread. She's bringing home the bread and bacon, and she's doing all these different things because people love to have resources. So those are the things that set us apart. Because once you have resources, then you are put on a pedestal, and those resources mean money. So if by any means necessary, OnlyFans. Find yourself going on OnlyFans, and you make some money. But no, I wouldn't recommend this for any of my closest people. You know, but I'm not saying that nobody should find themselves in that sort of world. But I come from an era where such things was not cool. I mean, if you the whole idea is just we grew up in an era where you can't find yourself doing some crazy things. Now we had no cell phones at the time, and the cell phones came in later, and this whole nudes thing was not cool. And now that it's available for people to do, it's like, okay, you can send me, but I ain't sending you. But it's just a thing. It's as crazy it may seem. It's like the worry of but people do these things. People in position of power, people do all these things and display themselves in such a way. But it's when it all comes out, it then becomes a problem. So I was just saying yesterday how Idris Elba is finding himself into the whole situation. So I hope there ain't nothing coming after him while if it really happens. you know the mama force said I was very against starting an account in the beginning, and I was worried about safety, and the reason it was kind of going for free, and she just decided to finish school, and she wanted to, yeah, she just finished school, and she thought, well, maybe, I mean, these things happen. I mean, it's a lot of times, like these rappers are saying how uh, hip hop is the young people's music, and it's true because most of the fans are in high school, and so it's that point in time when people are connecting with a whole new energy, and it's crazy it may seem, but then when you get to there, you start to sort of reconsider your path, and that's why I would not recommend somebody to get married before 30 because you're still finding yourself. You know, the energy is still real, and when you become uh, a proper grown man, I think that is the best time. And we make decisions prior to that, and we think this is for the rest of our lives. But as you evolve, you realize that sometimes, things don't go as we expect them to go, and it just goes left. You know what I mean? But sometimes people manage the whole situation and become better citizens of the marriage council. But anyway, here we are. Let's go on a short break. We'll continue this conversation after the break. Yep. We are back, and it's I was still saying how it's crazy. It might seem the whole idea of OnlyFans is quite an interesting one because it's interesting one because there's a lot of things at stake, and you live the rest of your life knowing that something's out there, and but then we grow up, we come from the generation behind before us was maybe say me as an African guy, generation before us was just probably had was intimate in the bedroom and just did their thing in the bedroom. But we then the generation that came after was finding themselves in the lounge and doing all the thing on the sofa, and that sort of thing. And then our well later on, people started to sort of have public uh, sexual encounters, say maybe in the back of the car, and you know what I mean. So it's time. But then I was thinking to myself that, nah, do you know what? These things was happening, but they were not being televised. You know, these things were actually happening, and they were not filmed. And so we cannot dwell on the idea that it's just us who are getting all comfortable and doing these things outdoors and stuff. And you know, so it comes back to the point where it's like, whatever you do, know who you're doing with and where you're doing it and why you are doing it, because the repercussions can be nasty. I mean, if you decide, if imagine if she just decides to say, "I know, you know what, I'm not gonna do this anymore." It's like I've seen a lot of retired porn stars, and they're saying how, yeah, I came to a point where I thought to myself, I can't do this anymore. Imagine going to work, and some of these porn stars are actually married. Imagine this, and then you go and you shoot a couple of scenes, and you get your change, and then you come home and you say, "Honey, I'm home." you know, and some people had it down, and sort of, that's my wife, and I'll stick to her. I love her, and what is love, guys? you know, it's certain things that we need to understand because thing is, my wife's everything is out there on the internet. Everything, like, and then imagine there's a guy that's just pounding. Hey, this is man, that's this that's some crazy situation. But these two have managed to engage in this situation, and because she's saying she posts bikinis on the internet, on Instagram and stuff. So she's finding herself, why dwell on the idea when I can, why hang on the idea when I can do it on OnlyFans and get some change, you know? Get yourself some change, young girl. you know, it's I'll not applaud it, but it's do your thing, you know, do your thing, and she said it was not easy. It was easy for her to get followers on OnlyFans because she already posting photos on Instagram, and I'm always dressed up and taking photos, and so I thought, why not do that? And I love make money from it. I had discussed this with my boyfriend, who I'm still with and has been supportive since I started. Oh my gosh. So I'm trying to think to myself, my wife coming to me and saying, listen, I'm gonna go on OnlyFans, make some change. My wife's beautiful. So they say I'm going, nah, we cannot continue this discussion. I can't, you know. we can't continue this discussion because it's no, it's I value what I have because what I have is gold, so I can't afford everybody else looking at you. Well, you can look at her while she's dressed up and everything, but we cannot compromise on, I mean, we've not, maybe, I don't know, I might change my mind. No, I will not change my mind. no, I will not change my mind because I'm an African man. but I see people post such pictures on Instagram, and it appears as if it's suitable, and all the bikinis at the beach and stuff. I ain't got no problem with that, but it depends on the caption, though. It's just, what's the idea, what's the art of the whole bikini and stuff. I mean, if you find yourself on a on a jet ski and your whole bikini and with the whole thingy, I mean, you can get away with it because it's what happens at the beach. Then someone will come by and say, "Oh no, that's what happens in OnlyFans." and stays on all the fence. Nah, 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 nah. No, it doesn't work. You know. So it's interesting to find that they said men who are cool with their partners. You know, but I suppose that she's only 18. I mean, you cannot stop somebody from you know, stop somebody from trying to find their path at the age of 18, because it's like nobody's still married to their 16-year-old girlfriend. You know, I mean, a lot of people is you know what I mean, but I mean your first girl that you was with, you're not with her. Um, you know, if you say you're 40, you probably have a couple of people along the line, but you know what I mean. It's you sort of found the one, and I mean, if you're not the one, I think that's another point, because being the one, you know, when you realize that somebody is the one, it's that's when you tighten up the belt. You say you sort out the loose screws, and you know, sort things out, because that's not gonna fly, you know. And you probably hold it down, and you know, you start setting boundaries, and you know, because most of the times, if we look at these relationships and we find no boundaries, people go on a wild one. You know, you be out here doing a goose chase with somebody, and you know, it's the interesting part is when you've been playing a goose chase with somebody, and then the next thing is they find the one, and that one person that makes her do all the, you know, submission, and you know, submit, and you all this time you're telling, you're my girlfriend, so this is what we're gonna do. But then she's not having it. No, no, I'm not gonna have that. But then this one guy that comes and sweep her off her feet, and you know, next you know, she's wearing skirts. Next you know, she's going to church. It's like, what happened? This new guy came and made some changes, you know, because it's love is supposed to be a natural thing. You shouldn't find yourself, you know, asking somebody to submit, and asking them to do this and that, and you know, somebody should feel a certain way that you know, that it's natural. You know, I was having a conversation with somebody, and they were saying how it's interesting how you know, uh, a woman, okay, the person gave me an example and said, "Do you know what? I had my wife asking me to say, um, I had my wife asking me to say thank you for the meal that she cooked, and then because I did not thank her for the meal, and she actually requested that I say thank you for the meal that she cooked, and then I was thinking to myself that uh, as a man, if I find myself actually cooking, I don't expect to be appreciated. I don't expect for the expression of, you know, to say thank you for the meat or whatever I do for the family. I have to uh, be appreciated like that. But it's like maybe I was like maybe we've got Afrocentric mindset, and then he was like no, because the way we are wired is that we are naturally doing these things because it's what we're supposed to do. But then some people do it on condition, you see. So it's when you do things on condition, it's a whole new thing. So men do things naturally, and they don't expect to be uh, thanked or whatsoever. But then the other gender that I'm not going to speak about um, needs to be appreciated. You don't appreciate me, you, but you know this is how you need to learn. Learn from me and apply it to your situation. But anyway, let's go on a short break. Yep, we are back, and we are back with a bang, and it's supposed to be warmer ahead. It's the weather is saying 20 degrees, and outside it's not quite what it is, and uh, but it's interesting how we decided that we want to go to Qatar for World Cup. It's interesting how we decided to go to Qatar. Qatar for World Cup, and have the World Cup over there in Qatar. You know, and I was surprised on how, because usually the World Cup is during the summer, England summertime, but this time around it's November, December. So it's I don't know how they came to that conclusion. I suppose maybe, well, I don't know, but it's going to be in Qatar. You know, I mean, for those that have been in Qatar Airways, you know what I mean by saying Qatar. Yeah, I mean, those that have been to Qatar, I know what I mean by saying Qatar. You know, I mean, we all know that the footballers like to do their thing. The footballers like to go where they want to go and plant seeds. You know, I mean, sometimes people make babies without making babies, if you know what I mean. But the goal is the process. Mhm. The goal is the process. So I'm wondering what's going to happen in Qatar, because it's not so easy to find yourself somebody who's willing to participate, because people there, there's rules that you follow when you're in the streets. You see, so I wonder how these guys are gonna carry themselves over there in Qatar, because I mean, mm, the rules there are sort of real rules. You know, you don't just decide to uh, engage in situations with people that of the other gender, and it could be a whole situation, and people that's either strong in their faithfulness, and they ain't doing none of that, from what I hear. But there's other mixed views. Actually, there's mixed views saying how you'd be surprised that you find one of the ladies there, and the ladies there are sort of engaging in terms of discreet. Don't tell nobody, and I won't tell nobody. Yeah, because it's an interesting, because that region is sort of strong in their the beliefs and way of life, and all these rules that they make, and know this, know that. But when it starts to surface, when we have people paying as much as about 100, say, um, fly out girls from Africa to get them to Dubai and all these places, and and then engage in activities that are sort of degrading and stuff. So it's like they probably their own women can't do that, so they'll rather since they can afford, bring them out, and get some change. You know, and some of our African sisters that are ready to participate, and going back home with a good some change that can probably get you a car that can get you by, and get a house, and something like that. And it's crazy. So some is how you sort of see how the way other the people are wired, um, in connection with convenience and trying to get money. But then you see how a lot of communities have been affected by poverty from in Africa. But I sometimes think it's poverty of the mind. Poverty is only in the mind. But then morals. Sometimes you need to have those morals in place so that you are able to get yourself together and believe in yourself better and you believe in your own community better, because it takes one to make a change, and a reflection of who you are makes a whole picture of the community look, but it happens. And but another thing that intrigued me is seeing how the list of teams going to the World Cup. I suppose maybe it's been like that throughout, but I never really paid attention to it. It's the idea that the idea that there's 18 teams from Europe, and then there's 5 teams from Africa, and then there's 4 teams from South America, and 6 teams from North America. So I was trying to figure out, like, how do they actually make these decisions? Because when you have all these uh, teams from different regions, but then you have more teams in one region. Is it because Europe is sort of football in Europe is that big to a point where the national teams have to be represented? More national teams or need to be represented, or maybe the fan base is so much in Europe that it's only thoughtful to have more countries from Europe. And I suppose maybe, and if you the thing is, if you look at it closely, it's the same teams that usually go to the World Cup from all different regions. And so I suppose maybe there's a consideration of that to make this uh, 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 a World Cup that we can all watch, because most of the national team players are playing in Europe. And playing in Europe means that there's more players from Europe that can make the World Cup worthy. So you rather have those there and that sort of thing. But I would actually be interested to understand these. If you could join me in this comment section and say a few words that you know about in terms of why is that there's 13 countries from Europe, 5 from North America, 6 from South America, and 5 from Africa. Yeah, and then there's 6 from Asia. Is what is the board follow those? Is FIFA in with the European countries, or does the board have European countries? Well, there's a valid reason to why it's like that, because I found it really intriguing to have such in place, and to think to myself that oh, so is it like that? Oh, it's like that. What I mean? Um, I found really interesting, but such is it's how things are happening, and some things when you start to realize them, it's like is this how the setup is? Because there's the people in power, and then there's you. So this is what the thing is somebody told me you need to understand something in politics. um eh, Politics, no, economics and politics go hand in hand. So fix your economics first so that you can sort out the politics. People are funded to make decisions, and if you're not funding nobody, then your decision is not going to be discussed, or um, put into. Some people just go behind closed doors. You think to yourself that how do we end up here? Somebody paid somebody. Somebody in a position of power said, no, this is what's going to happen. And they had to follow through, and it happened. You know, so you need to get your money right. So it's the phrase that "put your money where your mouth is real. So understand that phrase, and then you know. when you in families and it's like, oh, wait, we cannot have this meeting before so and so comes. It's like, hold on, because they know that his decision comes with resources, and your decision just comes with just thinking about what the culture says, or what the people are. This is how a lot of things is lost. It's he who's got gold is the ruler. You see, so it somehow has become that. That's become the culture, you know. And with the culture requires you to have sort of another lifestyle, a different lifestyle. So it means that if you've got the gold, you make decisions, and because many a times you're the funder, you know what I mean. So you're encouraged to work hard so that you can make decisions. Otherwise, if you don't, that's why I say economics is the source of is works hand in hand with politics. Because if I can pay you to make decisions that suit me, I'm good to go. So it's an understanding that people need to get to grasp, because that's the way things are going to happen, and that's the way things have been happening, and that's the setup. So work hard, get your money right, and make decisions. And when people say, no, no, we can't do that, no, 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 I'm going to do it. I've got the money for it. You know what I mean? It's like, you know, you've been out with friends, and then it's like, guys, let's do this. I know we can't do that. No, 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 no. I'm paying for everything. It's not a problem. Money is not a problem. Yeah. Oh man. But let's hope it's a good time. It's just we're gonna be out here in the winter, and just watch football while at home, sipping some coffee or some whiskey. It's gonna be a good time. I think maybe it's gonna stretch into Christmas because some of the games are gonna be in December. Yeah, so probably watching football Christmas time. Yeah, I mean, let's go on a break for a minute.
Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. The pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio. through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The Diagnosis, a pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Yep, it's Relax Radio. It's Andrew on Relax Radio. It's the Lunchman Show. It's we're here on the last quarter of the run, and it's an interesting day today. It's Tuesday, and everybody doing good, and we appreciate everybody, like I said in the beginning, who's been following us and engaging with us. There's more to happen, and we continue to grow. And by your response, it's help us to become better, and your feedback is more than recommended, so that we can help tunnel ourselves the way we want to go, and the way you will appreciate us more, and you know do things the way everything nice goes, because we like to do things nice over here, because it's a nice feeling to be out here, and communicating with people and engaging with people, and sharing some of this information that I have in this big head with big ideas, and you know it's it's crazy how it seems like we grow into some of the things that we are called in, from when we are kids, and you know the nicknames that we get, and sometimes we fall for victim and become the crybabies that end up getting depressed, and all that. But you need to have a thick skin and hold it down, and become that guy who's you know receiving whatever information, because even the Bible says it's not what comes in, but it's what comes out. you know so even if you watch porn, you could watch porn, you know but don't perform the same way as the porn star do, you know but such is life. So those that are going through certain things, that things like depression, and you know you have this theory in your head that everything comes to nothing. you know so when you know that everything comes to nothing, then you're in a better space, because it's nothing. At the end of the day, you're gonna end up dead. You'll be nothing. So if you really concentrate on the negative sides, or what people say, or what people do, or what to you, you'd become nothing before you're supposed to be nothing. You become nothing when you're supposed to be something. You see, so it's such things that we need to be sharing together. That everything comes to nothing, because even if you, I mean, if you look at love and hate, it's two extreme ends, and what's the thin line? Nobody can say. So how do you then say you hate somebody or you love somebody? It's nothing. It's nothing. Two polarization. It's just nothing to it. It's just what we need to aim at is to understand why things are happening the way they are. Then that way you'll be in a better space to operate, because just positive vibes. Positive vibes. If find yourself, you delete all the negative things, you'll find that things are working out well, and you're just happy. You're happy. you know it's one blood. One blood. Just brush off all that racism. It's the same blood that run through everybody's body. You know what I mean? All the blood is red. you know so if you, who's from who, use a girl, use a man, who's a, all these differences, we just need to cut them off. You just become one blood. you know I mean, there's a theory that comes from Adam and Eve, you know. So we all come from there, you know. But I just couldn't think to myself that if Adam and Eve were the first two people, their kids must have had kids of their mom. Okay, I'm just gonna leave it there. But anyway, it's as crazy it may seem, it's a funny one still, but that's life, isn't? But I was still trying to push the idea that we need to understand that we're one people. It's just one blood, you know, one blood. It's just one blood. There's something interesting there is just it made me think. The actual song of the game, if you remember it quite well, it was about 2006. They're about the One Blood song, and it had his verses, and then Junior Reid was the was the guy on the chorus. One blood, da 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 da, da, one blood, yeah. And they had the remix where they had all the other rappers, and the song was actually about 12 minutes. Everybody from Jadakiss, from and he was recently on a podcast saying how he didn't get much money out of that, and because initially he had sang that song in that sample was actually a real song. So instead of them trying to get him to pay him to clear the sample, they got him to actually sing the chorus, and then that way, this is how the music business works. So you were saying how, uh, from what I got, because the transcript was in Jamaican patois, but you were saying something like that he was not paid as much as he was hoping, because the song was, when you people sign contracts, people need to really understand these things, because you know the contract and the fine, people that don't say it how a lot of people, what people don't do is read the contract. Oh, yeah, I think it was three things that people don't do, but one of them was read the contract. And one time I applied for a loan, and it got approved, and just walking into the thing, it's like, oh yeah, here's the forms that you need to sign, and and me being me, I just took the papers and signed and gave them back. The lady just took the papers and tore them up and said, "Listen, you need to read these terms." uh, don't come out here with some foolishness. So I had to sort of pretend as if I was reading, and just read through the first page, and decided and gave it back, and the money was in my account. But yeah, we need to actually read these terms and conditions, because people are suffering over things that they, of their creativity. People are just, say, oh, no, 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 I'll look after you. I'll look after you. It's not a problem. But, uh, next thing you know, people are getting money, and your contribution is not acknowledged as much as it's supposed to be. And it becomes a whole situation, and you live the rest of your life thinking, nah, but you walk in the streets and you be like, God, that's the guy from that song, and that song was a hit, but you're broke, broke as hell, you know. Ah, we need to be mindful of these things. But then that's where the problem is. If you become all, you know, an upfront person to say, I need to see the papers, I need to read properly and see things, you become that guy where people don't go to you because you're too concerned about this and that, and it's like, okay, let's just leave him aside. And now it's apparent that now the music business are actually assigning you their own lawyer, and then you say, lawyer, read this for me, and then the lawyer is saying, it's fine, so it is well, but it's not on your side, it's on the other side, you know. So you can never beat the system, you know. It's they'll always counterattack and counter plan, and you're just there, just your mind being exploited, and the people in the offices are the ones that are making money, because you going out there thinking, hey, this is, but what did the contract say? Discover that the contract says you don't get uh, this and that, because we paid for you to get involved, we paid for your tour, we paid for you, and then we're not gonna you know we're not gonna we need to recoup that money, you know. Everybody's, it's business. It's just um find your passion and understand the business model around your passion and the market as well. And that way you are safe. You see, because if you're unsafe out there, your brains will be going to waste. So take this from me: find your passion, know the business model side of things and the marketing side of things, and look after yourselves and your families. Take care for now. Andrew signing off.